Good afternoon and welcome. We're live on the Trade Decorator Festival, and in this afternoon's session I'm joined by Marty McAleenan of OB1, and we're going to be looking at a demonstration of the OB1 Painting and Decorating Troubleshooting Kit. What that consists of is the OB1 Sealant and Adhesive, the OB1 Multi-Surface Paint Remover, and the SIROFLEX Instantly Paintable Caulk. So before we go to the demonstration, just for those of you that have not joined us on Crowdcast before, feel free to comment in the comments box. If you could refrain from typing your questions in this part of the session, because we will go to another session for the live Q&A. So here we go. Here is the demonstration of the OB1 Painting and Decorating Troubleshooting Kit.
Welcome to OB1 SIROFLEX. Today what we're going to bring to you is what we call the PDT kit. What it basically means is the Painting and Decorators Troubleshooting Kit. Within this kit we have three products. We have the OB1 Sealant and Adhesive, we have the SIROFLEX Instantly Paintable Caulk, and we have the OB1 Paint and Varnish Remover. What we're going to do now is we're going to go through the process of demonstrating the exceptional features and benefits of these three products together. After that, what we will do is we will enter into a Q&A technical session where I will endeavour to answer your questions as quickly, as promptly and as honestly as possible without any marketing bump, just pure technical responses to your questions. Right, so the first thing that we're going to show you is the applications of this product. It's absolutely amazing formulation. Formulation that I personally have worked with for the last 15 years. And still to this day, amazes me at what it actually can and has done over the course of them 15 years. As you'll see on this block, the numerous substrates within the building trade that it can be used on. Copper, marble. It contains no solvents, so therefore will not flash off against the back of the marble, staining the marble. For your roofing applications, your lead, your felt. For your PVCs, your UPVCs. Here you'll see polycarbonate. In the polycarbonate you'll see this blue. What that actually is water dyed blue, so you can see the seal on it. More relevant to yourselves as painting and decorators, what you'll see here is your skirting and your little bits of fascia finishings attached using the OB1. A lot of you have asked, can it be painted? Well, this is actually the colour range. Now you'll find here, particularly in external applications or non-cosmetic applications, that you'll find a colour within the range that will tone in without it actually being painted. However, it can be painted with water-based paints. Synthetic paints, oil-based paints, you need to test the area, because what we have discovered over time is very simply is that there are levels of oxide and oxide within the paints that can slow the curing process down in relation to oil-based paints in particular. So a test area. What I always tell people is leave the product for 24 hours before painting. You get better results that way. Some people make claims that you can paint it within 15 minutes. Personally, from a technical perspective and a non-problematic perspective, leave it for 24 hours. Here you'll see is your bathroom panels and your mirror. Again, no solvents. Doesn't attack the back of the mirror, doesn't attack the plastic, doesn't melt the plastic. What you'll see here is, you'll see a small surface area of product. Look at the tensile bond with the strength of the product. Now that is the applications that we have for the OB1. You might say to yourself, right, a lot of them aren't relevant to myself within the painting and decorating industry. However, it's just to show you the actual properties of the product. This product here is food safe. It conforms to indoor air emissions. It is also EC1 plus rated. It also is a product that conforms to LEED building product projects, meaning that it is an environmentally friendly product. Now, environmentally friendly, when I say a product, I mean what's inside the cartridge. Now, a lot of these types of products would make claims, performance claims, that they work in the wet. For us, we like to show you this. Now, it's not that relevant to you guys, but I just want to show you the performance levels of this product. So what we're going to do here is, we're going to take this little plastic cup, we're going to fill it with water, like so. And then what we're going to do is, we're going to create an immediate underwater bond, like so. And what you'll see here is an immediate seal on the water. Now, this product is very easy to work with. So underwater, what you can actually do is you can spread the product, like so, even underwater. So you have tricky situations where you need to get around behind a pipe, in around a shower tray, or in around fittings that are wet or damp. It's not an issue. Now, some people will say, got it on your finger, it's going to be there forever, but it's not. It is such a user-friendly product. Just wipes away. With a dry cloth, it's gone. A very, very user-friendly product. Now, what I also want to show you is, when we say it seals, the seal is immediate. So there's a knife going through that cup, and you see the seal is immediate. Now, the other thing about it is, if you have a leak, let's say you have a leak in a spouting when you're doing a bit of external painting and you need to get the leak fixed. There's the problem, and there's the solution. So as we say in OB1, job done. Now what we're going to work on is the SIROFLEX instantly paintable caulk. And when we say instantly paintable, we mean exactly that. You don't have the issues when you paint caulk too early. A lot of caulks contain about 40% of water. If it's painted too early before it fully cures, what happens is the water evaporates, the caulk collapses in, and the paint that's on the surface cracks and grazes, leaving it an unseemly mess. Okay, this will not happen with this product. This product can be used in door sills, window frames, plasterboard holes, settlement cracks, nail holes, all those little things within the trade that needs fixed. Unfortunately for the painter and decorator, he comes in to do the job and he has to pick up on all the little things that have been left behind and fill in and get in and out as quickly as possible. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tie the OB1 and the SIROFLEX instantly paintable caulk together in one application. Here we have a little bit of skirting board. Common application for you guys. So it could be skirting board, it could be a fascia panel, it could be a little dado rail, it could be anything. So what we do is we dot and dab the OB1 like so. And we fix it to the plasterboard. Once again, plasterboard is a very, very common thing for you guys to be working with. So we fix it to the plasterboard like so. And there we have, because of the grab nature and the high tensile strength of the product, we have an immediate fixing. Now we do it, raise that up like I said, just to show you the grab of the product. Okay. Next thing is, we take the SIROFLEX instantly paintable caulk and we fill in that gap with the instantly paintable SIROFLEX caulk. So as you see, we just apply it normally. And I'll put quite a bit on there just for demonstration purposes. So we're going to fill it like so and spread it. You get a nice smooth finish. And so as you see, we've just applied the SIROFLEX instantly paintable. And what we're going to do now is we're going to paint it immediately. And I'm sure, as you can notice by my brush strokes, I'm not a painter and decorator. I leave that to you guys. So there we have it. Application, OB1, apply the SIROFLEX, instantly paintable and paint it immediately. Look at the time and cost that will save. So many times I'm sure you guys have gone in to do just a normal wee job and you find, oh, that skirting needs replaced or that skirting needs filled. Here you have all options in the PDT kit. So now we move on to the third and last of our PDT kit. What it is OB1 paint and varnish remover. This product here is a product that is free of methylene chloride. It contains no nasties, no need for harsh chemicals, there's no need for flame to remove your surfaces of paint. This particular product will remove all layers of paint. Depending on how many layers there is, it will depend on how much product that you need to use. So what we have here in front of us, we have gloss, we have stain, and we have varnish. So we're going to apply the product on each of these surfaces. Firstly, the gloss. Secondly, the stain. Thirdly, the varnish. Now we do like to let it sit for a little bit, for 2 or 3 minutes whilst it's starting to break up the binders in the paint. But however, what we'll do is, we'll give it a go now and we'll see how it actually works. So what you'll see is, immediately, you see your paint peeling away to the base material. Next thing you'll see is your stain. And again, quite effectively, efficiently, and quite quickly, you see it removing your layers of stain. Now we have the varnish. I'm going to just give this a little clean because there's a lot of paint residue on it. So now we have the varnish. And you see immediately the varnish breaking down. Straight back to your base material. There we go. As we say, OB1, job done. Now I look forward to the Q&A session that's going to follow, and I will get into more depth with you and answer your questions about the products and their ranges. So thank you very much for watching and listening to the demonstration, and we'll move on to the Q&A.
Okay, so we saw demonstrations there for 3 products that make up the OB1 Painting and Decorating Troubleshooting Kit. That was the multi-layer paint and varnish remover, the sealant and adhesive, and the SIROFLEX SIROFLEX instantly paintable cork. So we're going to meet with Marty McLennan in the next part of the session when we join Marty in a live Q&A. When this session finishes, it will generate a big red replay button in the middle of the screen. It's tempting, but don't press it because you'll just see exactly what you've just seen. And you can watch that on our website at any time or on our YouTube channel. For the next part of the session, I need you to click the green Q&A button. Myself and Marty will do a quick mic check and we'll be with you. So please don't go away. See you soon. Hello everybody, thanks for joining us in our live Q&A with Marty McLennan from OB1. Hello Marty, good afternoon.
How are you, Paul?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, for everybody that's not familiar with Crowdcast, you can see we've got a comments box down the right hand side. Feel free to comment on anything that's being said. If you do have a direct question you'd like to ask Marty, can you hit the ask a question button for me beneath us? Type in your question there and then we don't miss it because things do get lost in the chat. Also, if somebody else asks a question you'd like to ask, then by all means vote on that so we know that a few of you would like us to answer it. And if any of you are brave and would like to come up and talk to us in person, if you'd like to type that in the comments box and I can bring you up on the screen to ask Marty your question directly. Now, I can see the questions are coming in already, Marty. So let's have a look. Mark is asking, how do your products differ from those of your competitors that make the same claims for their products?
Well, the difference, Mark, really is that when you have products that have been on the market for many, many years, it's quite easy to prove the fact that the products work.
Okay. Our next question, it says, hi Marty, I tried SIROFLEX Caulk a couple of years ago. I found it too dry and hard to run in. The product you used didn't look dry at all. Has it been reformulated?
Yes, there has been a significant change in the formulation where they have added what we call UCA technology, which makes the product more fluid and easier to work with and more dependent.
Okay. Marty, how quickly does the, we're looking at the paint and varnish remover, how quickly does it work?
Well, that's depending on the layers, but within 2 or 3 minutes, it'll activate the binders in the paint and break your paint down. So,
okay. Marty, we're struggling a little bit with your sound. Can you click on the get audio help at the bottom for me? And just click on that link there that says join in compatibility mode. What it will do is hopefully help you catch up with the stream because we're losing you a little bit.
okay.
Okay, take a few seconds and then it should sound a bit better. So does the paint and varnish remover, does it leave any residue on the surface?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. And can it be used on any surface?
Every surface, except I would advise people not to use it on PVC because you run the possibility of the PVC.
Okay. And what's the coverage per can, Marty?
Coverage per can is between 0.8 and 1 square meter.
Okay. And how does it actually work?
Well, basically what it does, it attacks the binders within the paint. That keeps the paint on the surface. And keeps the paint it acts as a surfactant, breaking down the paint.
Okay. Does it work on all paints?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And do I need to use protective equipment when I'm using it?
If you're in a confined area, small and closed area, it's always best to use protective equipment. But if you're in a room area, 4 or 5 square radius, he was shut no problem.
Okay. And what about stockists? Where can I buy it from?
You can buy it in all leading paint decorator outlets, some of builders markets, so it's relatively.
Right. And moving on to the sealant and adhesive. Oh, bear with us a second. I think we've lost Marty's connection. Sorry, guys. I think we are struggling a little bit with Marty's connection. I'll just see if I can get him back on the screen. Are you still with us, Marty? There we are. We have you back on screen. We lost you there for a second, Marty. I think there's a problem with your connection at your end on your Wi-Fi. But you're back with us. Can you hear me?
So I'm back in, but can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. I can hear you.
I can't hear you from your side, Paula.
You can't hear me. I'm not sure. If you could hit the audio help. It's the problems at your end, Marty. We're struggling with your connection, you see, and your speakers, I think. You need to check your speakers, Marty. Are your speakers connected? I do apologise, everybody. The wonders of modern technology.
Can you hear me, Paul?
I can hear you fine. Yes.
Okay. Let me
Can you hear me?
Shut down and reconnect.
Okay, try that. I do apologise, everybody. Sometimes these things are out of your control. It's just down to the internet connection. I hope we're not losing you. I can see you're still live. Thank you for being patient, and we will try and get Marty back on screen. Right, let me see if he's back in the session. Yeah, let's see, he's connecting back up. So hopefully we'll be able to bring him back up for you.
Can you hear me now, Paula?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Fantastic. We have you back on. It's always a worry when you're relying on technology.
We were just talking about this prior to going live, Paula, weren't we?
That's right. Mark Rigby's just put, no problem. 6 months ago, Zoom was just a song by Fat Larry's band.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely.
So, questions regarding the sealant and adhesive. Is OB1 paintable?
Yes, OB1 is paintable, but there is there's a bit of a fallacy out there about hybrid sealants, and I have to make people, as I said in the demonstration, you will get purely honest technical responses to the questions. Hybrid sealants are highly compatible with paints, particularly with water-based paints. Now, some people might think that you can paint them in 15 minutes, you can paint them in an hour. I will always advise people, because of my experience of dealing with the hybrid system, to leave it for 24 hours. There's a very, very specific reason for that, Paula, and to those who are listening, is that the hybrid system, what it does is it inhales moisture, okay? You can imagine. And if you put paint on the surface too early, the hybrid system will inhale it, and slow down the curing process. There will be a chemical reaction through crossing over plasticizers, oxides, and it will slow the process down. If you're doing it in an external application where you don't need a cosmetic finish, then you could probably paint it in 2 or 3 hours. But my professional experience tells me leave them all for 24 hours. You get better results that way.
Yeah. And how long does it take to cure?
3 to 4 mil will be, depending on the ambient temperature, will cure in 24 hours.
Okay.
When you get into a situation where you're in the cold climate and the temperature drops below 5, then the curing rate, as it would do with paint, would slow down a little bit. So if you say go below 3, for every millimeter, every degree below 3 you go, if you add on about 3-4 hours per millimeter of product, that's the way the curing process goes.
Okay. And what type of paints can you use on it?
Water-based paints, instantly compatible. Be very careful using oil-based paints on hybrid systems, because when you get a crossover of plasticizers or a crossover of oxides or oxides within the paint, the actual curing process can be affected. It's paintable with any type of paint. The longer you leave it, the better the results.
Okay. And what about outdoors? Can we use it outdoors?
Absolutely. The OB1 Sealant and Adhesive outdoors is highly weather resistant. It will fluctuate with the changes in weather temperatures. It'll expand and contract accordingly without losing its adhesive or cohesive values.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? And what is OB1?
OB1 is what the terminology as a hybrid sealant. It's a new generation of sealants and adhesives that came to market some 20 plus years ago. In the early 50s, silicon was the way forward. It was the solution to everybody's problem. But as time progressed, huge progression was made in sealants and adhesives, which led to a combination of what we call a hybrid, right? What a hybrid is a combination of all the good parts of silicons, polyurethanes, acrylics, all put together in the one cartridge, and all the bad parts left away to one side. So it's a culmination of many, many years of R&D and research culminating in this hybrid system.
Okay. And what about once I've opened the can, how long will it, the cartridge, sorry, how long will it last?
Well, now this isn't a huge advantage where the OB1 product is concerned. If you open the cartridge up, let's say you open the silicon up, or polyurethane. If you opened it up and you used a tiny little bit of the cartridge, right? A couple of weeks, it's gone. You've lost the whole lot, right? If you open up the OB1, let a little bit protrude out of the top of the nozzle, that'll stay alive for 4 to 5 months, easily.
That's good, isn't it? It means you're getting a lot more value for your money.
You are. You have no, basically 95% of the cartridge is usable.
Okay, Mark Rigby is just saying that when he asked his question earlier, the sound quality we had was really poor, whereas now we've got the sound sorted. He just asked if I'd put his question to you again because he was struggling to hear the first time round. So he said, let's have a look what your question was, Mark. Sorry, I've just moved it. He said he tried SIROFLEX Caulk a couple of years ago and found it too dry and hard to run in. The product you used didn't look dry at all. Has it been reformulated?
Yes, Mark. Over the course of time, there has been a new technology introduced called UCA. It makes the product a little bit more fluent. It makes the product easier to work with, and it responds much better to instantly paintable. So the answer to your question is yes, it has improved dramatically.
Okay, there we go. Thanks for that. How do you tool the joints?
On the OB1 or the...
Sorry, on the sealant and adhesive, how do you... Yeah.
You can use spirits, white spirits to finish it off, right? You can use the old tradesman's way, the wet finger. You can use water and soap, very liquid, mix it. a lot of people have different ways and different trades to do it. You also can buy finishing tools, solvent sprays for doing it. But I will always tell people this, right? There is a myth, right, that has been projected out there that if you put your finger in the mouth and use that to finish off a sealant and adhesive, you're transferring bacteria to the sealant, right? I'm not sure whether that's the case or not, right? I think it's just a marketing ploy to get you to buy a tin of solvent finisher, right?
Yeah.
Most people will use that, right? Most people will use fairy liquid and water, right? What I will say is always be careful of petroleum-based finishing agents on sealants. And there's a reason for that, quite simply, is by the very term petroleum-based means petrol runoff, okay?
Yeah.
And petrol will stain absolutely everything. So therefore it will stain the sealant.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
that's basically.
And where can I get it from?
You can get OB1 Sealant and Adhesive. It's available in Screwfix, it's available in Travis Perkins, it's available in hundreds upon hundreds of small independent merchants. It's in Selco. It's nationwide. It's now the product has only been launched in the OB1 brand name in January. And as you know, we went in, we all suffered this lockdown period where everything was stifled for a period. But the traction and demand for the OB1 product, simply because it's a formulation that's been tried and tested for 15 years, is huge. So it's nationwide. So it is.
Okay. And moving on to the instantly paintable cork, how soon can it actually be painted?
Immediately.
Honestly, as soon as you finish applying it, you can get the paint out and put it on top.
Absolutely, yeah.
And why does it not crack then?
Because of that unique UCA technology that's inside it. The UCA technology replaces the moisture in it, right? So Caulks in general contain about 40% of moisture. What happens is the moisture will evaporate, the caulk collapses, and when the caulk collapses, then the paint cracks and flakes on the surface.
Right. So it's nothing to do with the elasticity of the paint then, it's the actual cork that's the issue when it cracks like that.
Absolutely. You within the caulk industry, you have three different types of caulk, right? You have the caulk, and everybody, this is preferable to the end user. It's up to the end user what they wish to use, but they have three alternatives where caulk is concerned. So you have the general multi-purpose caulk, which is from a price break perspective is the low end. Then you have the SIROFLEX instantly paintable, which is the middle range, and then you have the guy right at the top, right? Now the guy right at the top is high price point, right? Some people won't in their own minds justify using that. They'll only use this, that's fine. But you have these three elements within caulk. You have the low, mid, and high price point. The one in the middle is the SIROFLEX one, which is the mid price point break. Right. The one at the top end does exactly the same as SIROFLEX does, but however, it has more flexibility.
Right. Okay.
The one at the bottom end has none of anything.
Okay.
It's the one that causes the problems.
That makes sense. You buy cheap, you buy twice, don't you? They say.
Well, that's what they say.
So, will it cause the paint to discolor?
No. The answer to that is no. Right. However, my empathies go with the painting and decorating industry, and I'll tell you for why. Is that when they come into a job, they're either doing a cosmetic finish or they're finishing off a home, right? And you get all these marvelous claims that no, the paint needs to stain. Yes, you can paint it, but the painter and decorator gets it all the time because it's what people see. It's the end finish is what they see. It doesn't. But as legislation changes in relation to the likes of VOCs, volatile organic compounds, synthetic materials, paint will change. Sealants and adhesives will change. In theory, they say the legislators say that it should be fine. Then you find out down the road that because of that slight component change that's been made within the chemical makeup, that, well, I used this 6 months ago and it worked fine. Now I've used this particular type of paint and it's not drying. That's the big issue where the trades are concerned. because paints and regulations, sealants and regulations change rapidly due to health and safety, due to carcinogenic exposure and all them types of things. So in principle, at this moment in time, the answer is yes. Sorry for the long-winded approach, but the answer is yes.
Yes. Okay. And how wide of a gap can I use it to fill?
5 mil is as far as I will go.
Okay. And why, I think we covered this actually. I was going to say, why is it different than standard cork? But I think we just covered that in the last question. And so where can I purchase it? Where can I get the paintable cork?
Again, you can purchase it in brewers, Dulux, most of the trade centres. It's available. SIROFLEX, the SX brand, is available nationwide in all good builders, merchants, chains, independents. It's a very, very renowned and well-known brand. It's a brand that's been in the market supplying the UK for 33, 35 years.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our questions, unless anybody else has got anything that they'd like to put to Marty. It's been a really informative session, Marty. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Absolute pleasure.
Now, we have got a competition running. We're going to be doing a draw. We've got 10 of the painting and decorating troubleshooting kits that we're giving away. So we'll do a draw and we'll let you know if you're a winner. If we do have any reps in from any retail outlets, can you drop your details in the comments and tell me where you're from? Because we do have a prize for retail outlets that you would work with OB1, and they will provide you with, I'm just actually want to make sure that I get this right. Let me see. The winner will receive 10 boxes of mixed OB1 sealant and adhesive with the FSDU and point of sale as well. So if there are any reps in, if you can put your details there for me. Oh, I have got one more question for you, Marty, I think. What's the price range to buy in bulk? And what sizes does it come in bulk? Like how many per box?
Are we talking OB1? Or are we talking which one of the products?
Andy, which product are you interested in? OB1. Okay.
It comes in boxes of 12. The initial order with an FSDU is 168 units. And rather than discuss or disclose the pricing over this live session, if you wish to contact me directly, Andy, I will give you a full quote for it.
I think Andy's the decorator looking to buy in bulk from you, not a retail outlet.
Okay. Okay. Well, unfortunately, our remit, Andy, is that we don't deal directly with the end user. All our supply is through retail.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks for that, Marty. Thanks for clearing that up. So yeah, if you go to your local stockist, and I guess whatever discount you normally get from your local stockist, you'll be looking at discussing that with them. Thanks ever so much, Marty. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you all again soon. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Paul. And thank you very much, everyone else that joined. Thank you.
Thank you.